Okay, week 4. And I realize this is being filmed about a day later than normal, but these videos for video views, I kind of have to say, all right, what's gonna take precedent? Yesterday was a really busy day. Tuesday was also busy for videos. So let's get into this because tonight Minnesota's playing in LA at the Rams. Minnesota's 1-1-1. The Rams are 3-0. The Rams are the favorite, and I'll go ahead and write TEG in there, entertainment guy. I'll agree, Rams favorite. Rams win. That way, when Minnesota wins, my week's already off to a crap start. Um, for anybody wondering why I'm wearing Broncos and Bears, I don't really have a whole lot of choice when it comes to football. It's just, I go with what I've got. I do need a Rams jersey. I do intend to get a Rams jersey because I've cheered for the Rams since they were in LA the first time. I didn't like how they left St. Louis, but whatever. That's a whole other video. I talked about that already on the hockey guy, ironically, rather than here. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, though. It's fine. Houston's in Indianapolis. So Indianapolis is 1-2. Houston's 0-3. Houston's lost its 3 games by a total of 15 points. Indianapolis is 1-2. They're favored. I'm going to go against that because I am bound and determined to be right about Houston winning a game. They have to, right? What do you mean no? You can't say no. All right, you're saying no. That's fine. Okay, we'll just move on. Buffalo's 1-2. They're in against Green Bay, who are 1-1-1. It's with the ties this year. They got to stop. It is hard to go against Rodgers, and it is hard to go for Buffalo when Buffalo is in the midst of what looks like it could be a really rough year. And it's too bad because this year started out with some optimism for Buffalo. But yeah, I have to pile on because it's what happens. And I'll go with Green Bay in that one. Yeah, I think Green Bay's off to a slow start, but I think they're going to get better as the season goes along. And it's hard to go against them. Tampa's 2-1. They're in Chicago against the Bears, who are 2-1. The Bears are genuinely scary this year. I think that they have a shot. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, their 2-1 record is nice and fine and dandy. But I do think that going into Chicago and playing on the Tundra in Chicago, there's Tundra all over that Norris division. NFC Norris is what it was called by Rick Berman years back. Not Berman. It doesn't matter. You guys know who I'm talking about. Get Berman stuck in this Star Trek. Okay. So there you go. I'll take Chicago to win that battle at their Norris home. And this is probably going to be a pretty good game, but I think Chicago's defense should be able to stop Tampa's offense, right? Okay. New England 1-2 against Miami 3-0. Do you know, this is going to be the most lopsided pick all week, I think, because we look at New England 1-2, and there's going to be some panic with New England fans, but probably not a lot. Miami 3-0, are they really a contender for the Super Bowl? Probably not. Is New England ready to just drop completely out of the picture? I could see them ending up 8-8. I could, but I can't see them losing this game. Not against Miami. This is a key game. It's a division rival, and you have to win it. So I can't see them losing that. Detroit's in Dallas. Detroit's 1-2. Dallas is 1-2. I get the feeling that Detroit is capable of more than what they've shown so far. And Dallas does tend to underachieve here and there. So I'm looking for an upset. I'm looking for one we're going to be talking about Monday morning, and I'll take Detroit, even though it's insane, because that's sort of what I do. So I'm taking Detroit and Houston against the picks by the gambling sites. So right now the favorites are the ones with the asterisks. And there's not a whole lot of road teams being picked. 4 road favorites, 11 at home. And it doesn't normally work that way. And for people wondering where Washington and Carolina are, well, it's their bye weeks. They're off. I always wonder, is it better to have the bye week earlier or later? I would think it would be later, but I guess it depends on the team. Cincinnati's in Atlanta. Cincinnati's 2-1. Atlanta's 1-2. You know what? I've gone against my team, and I'm not going to go against them this week. I'll take Cincinnati there. I'll say they go to 3-1. They'll disappoint me at the end of the year is what I'm saying. Jacksonville, they're 2-1. They're at home against the New York Jets, who are 1-2. The Jets, coming off of a loss against Cleveland, should be really angry. They should be really fired up. That being said, I'll take Jacksonville. I just think Jacksonville's going to be able to take them out. This is going to be an interesting matchup between Philly and Tennessee. Tennessee's surprisingly 2-1. Philadelphia's not surprisingly 2-1 unless you expected them to be 3-0 already. I'll agree with the odds makers on that one. And I'll take Philly. Oakland at home against Cleveland. This is close. The betting right now, the betting lines seem to be 3.5 points in favor of Oakland. I don't know what they're looking at. Cleveland's been pretty good. Now, there were fans that were heard yelling Super Bowl baby after they won that one game. You might want to walk before you learn how to run. I think this week, they're going to learn how to walk a little bit better. And I'm going to say that in Oakland, Cleveland pulls it off and wins their second in a row. And then we'll start talking about playoffs with them 2-1-1. That's what's going to end up happening. I don't think they make the playoffs, but I think the desire to see a good team in Cleveland is so high now that I think if they get off to a 2-1-1 start, we're going to start hearing about them potentially winning 9 or 10 games. I think that's what people are going to start talking about. Like, well, where else can they win? Seattle's in Arizona. Seattle's 1-2 and Arizona's 0-3. I want to take Arizona in this one. I do. I genuinely do. I want to take Arizona in this one. But I do think Seattle is better than their record. And I think Seattle wins that one. I think the Hawks go to 2-2, and I think Arizona goes to 0-4. I think they're going to be cooked. If you're 0-4, you're basically done. There's not a whole lot of coming back from that, because then you have to win a minimum 9 out of your last 12. You have to be 9-7. Most seasons you have to be 9-7 to make the playoffs minimum. So it becomes virtually impossible. Even at 0-3, the odds are against you, because then you're looking at 10-3 to probably get in, or 9-4. It's tough. New Orleans at 2-1. They're in against the Giants, who are 1-2. And I'm gonna do something. I've been accused of being anti-New York Giants, and I like New Orleans at 2-1. But again, this has been a league of some interesting results over the last few weeks. So I'll take the Giants. Yep, I'll take the Giants in that one. And say they go to 2-2 and New Orleans drops to 2-2. Now the Chargers are at home against San Francisco. And Garoppolo is out now for San Francisco, which means that this really, honestly, the Chargers would really shoot themselves in the foot if they lose this game this week. I'm not ruling it out. As a Chargers fan for 30 years, I'm not ruling out LA/San Diego, whatever you call them. The Chargers are capable of shooting themselves in the foot quite well. And in their second year, the Chargers are 1-2, and the Rams are 3-0. So the city of Los Angeles is going to be behind LA, or behind the Rams. Behind LA, of course, they're LA. Pittsburgh's 1-1 at home against the 2-1 Baltimore Ravens on the road. And you'll notice I've already got 6 road teams winning, whereas the NFL's odds makers have 4. I'm really going against the odds makers. I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm not. And for that reason, I often see the Ravens win games like this. And I could see them going in and beating Pittsburgh, and I could see a mild panic setting in about Pittsburgh if they're 1-2-1 after their first 4 games. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And on the Monday game, it's Kansas City, who are 3-0, in against Denver. So I'll go ahead and take Kansas City, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm taking 8 road teams, which means I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 home teams. So I've completely lost my mind, basically. But I do think there's a lot of parity in the league right now, and I think that we're going to see a lot of teams staying in the race for a long time this year. You're going to see some fallout. One term that I heard today watching Bob McCown was separation week. Very often, week 4 is separation week. So you'll see teams going to 4-0 and 3-1, and teams dropping to 1-3 and 0-4. It could happen. We could see big separations going on. I'm definitely calling for that in a few cases, but I'm also calling some underdogs, because the last couple weeks we've seen a lot of underdogs win. So while I would love to fall in line and say, oh yeah, no, I'm going to take all the favorites and try to get my record better, because my record hasn't been great over the last couple of weeks. The truth is, it's really hard to pick. And part of what I'm going by is there's a momentum that for me plays a part in it. And just historical significance of some of these matchups, like Baltimore. Baltimore's always been able to go into opposing barns of division rivals and somehow eke out a win. And it's their defense, and they'll run the ball, and they'll do all the things they got to do to kill the clock and to take the momentum out of the game for Roethlisberger and the boys, or whichever team in that division they end up playing. And so I never count Baltimore out. You look at the teams I'm taking that the NFL right now has as underdogs: the Giants, Baltimore, Cleveland, because I honestly think Cleveland is being underrated right now. People are expecting to go on another losing streak. I don't think so. Houston, because as I said, they've only lost by a grand total of 15 points over 3 games. They've been close. Detroit, because again, I think Dallas is managing to underachieve. And I'll take Cincinnati because honestly, I should take my team, and Atlanta's been somewhat underwhelming off the hop. So, and that's just sort of the way it works. Let me know what you guys think, though, as always, in the comment section below. It's a fun competition to have, and I know that I'm not necessarily going to have great prediction records. Never claimed that I would. That's why I started out in week 1 saying the very uninformed predictions. So here we are with more uninformed predictions. Uninformed of sorts, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just tapping upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.